Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about simplifying expressions, still dealing with negative exponents and zero as an exponent. So let's get to it. The first problem that we see here is negative 5 times the quantity x to the 0. So this is the same thing as negative 5 times x to the 0. Oh, I put 2. Wow, I don't know where the 2 came from. X to the 0. Let me just rewrite this whole thing. Negative 5 times x to the 0. This right here is the key. Negative 5 times any, now we're going to assume this is not 0 at this point. So any non-zero number is going to be, or taken to the 0 power is going to be 1. Yes, x could be 0. We don't know what it is, but out of the infinite possibilities, x is going to be treated as if it's not 0 because it's 1 out of an infinite amount of possibilities that it is, so we're not going to worry about it. So negative 5 times 1 is the same thing as negative 5. And that's how we can find the answer. First, we realize that this is negative 5 times x to the 0. The whole thing is not to the 0 power, only the x's. And by rewriting it, hopefully that made it more obvious that that exponent of 0 belongs to the x, not the negative 5. So we keep that and replace this, since it's a exponent of 0, we replace this whole thing with 1, because this part will equal 1. So then it's negative 5 times 1, and anything times 1 is itself. Now the next problem, we're dealing with division, so we can rewrite this as 9 times y to the negative 3 over y to the 5. And what I did in my head was, this is the same thing as 9 y to the negative 3 and 1 times y to the 5th, because the coefficient here is 1. It's invisible math. Then I broke apart the coefficients, because if I multiplied straight across, this would be the same thing as 1 times y to the 5th and 9 times y to the negative 3rd. And then 9, anything over 1 is just itself, so that's how I got 9 times our fraction here. So that means I now have 9 times y to the negative 3 minus 5, because anytime we divide bases, like bases, we subtract their exponents, and that's going to be 9 times y to the negative 8, which means, again, this negative 8 does not belong to the whole, it belongs to the y, so that means we have 9. Sorry, my brain is just not working right now. 9 times the inverse of y to the 8th, which is the same thing as 9 over y to the 8th. And there's my final answer. Make sure to write down any questions that you have that aren't exactly clear that we can go over in class tomorrow. And go ahead and pause the video and copy what is on your screen into your notebook. Now that you're back, anytime you have to rewatch the video for clarity or to remember something, you need to write it into your notes using arrows, circles, shapes, pictures, whatever else you need to, but add it to your notes to make them yours. Last, ladies and gentlemen, you are in school. When we are learning, it's about understanding the process, not about finding an answer. We'll see you tomorrow.